January 26, 1982, the day I was born. My father, Paul Thompson, they had a tournament going on. Ralph. They was trying to run the Nationals. My big mama was in Good Sam's, pregnant with me. I guess I was born. Big mama, granny, healthy good. Auntie Anna, Anna good. They was all at the hospital the day I was born. Same day Reagan's was announcing his presidency. Yeah. One more time.
Keep on going, just keep on, it's recording, it's all on you.
Gotcha.
Whatever you put into it, you're gonna get out.
Around 80s.
My name Anthony Dwayne Good, I was born, yeah, nigga, talk to him, nigga, like you rapping, nigga.
I got you. So, they named me after my uncle, Dwayne. He was killed by the police, actually. Probably about 7, 8, 9 months after I was born. Police killed him, beat the shit out of him. That's who I was named after.
Can I ask you what happened? How the police beat him, kill him, and you was named after this man? So this was your uncle?
This was my uncle. He was doing some criminal activity, and he ran into my grandma's house, which was on Oxford and Cambridge.
So what you saying? You from the View?
Dayton View. I was born on Oxford and Cambridge.
Boss from the View.
Yeah, I was from the View. So, yep. After that, we kind of moved around.
I'm saying, just go back to the story about you, the man you was named after.
That was my uncle, Dwayne. I don't know too much about it. They just told me who I was named after and what happened to him.
What happened to him?
He was doing criminal shit, and the police caught up to him back in them days. That was back in like 83, early 80, late 82, and they killed him. Yeah, they killed him.
They shoot him?
Nah, they just beat him to death. And he was one of those guys that didn't had too much pride. He didn't want to go to the hospital. So his head swelled up and his brain swelled up on him. Yep. And he died. But that's who I was named after. And then, you know, by the mid 80s, I say 85, 84, my grandma, she moved to New York. And she ended up in New Jersey. So late 86, we moved to New Jersey.
Around how old were you when y'all moved to New Jersey?
I was probably about 5.
So this was some of your
6.
Your most recent memories of the
Recent
that you can remember growing up was from New Jersey.
Yep. My recent memories was my grandma Alpha Good, her boyfriend or husband, Bob, Big Bob. Everybody knew Big Bob. He was already from New Jersey. And we stayed at 18th and Avon Avenue. 19th and Avon Avenue, I'm sorry. Yep. We stayed right above the bodega. I remember the landlord name. His name was Moyer. He was an Italian or one of them Dominicans. He loved my grandma, and Bob worked for him, and we stayed on top of the store. This was 85, 86. We used to go to the Salvation Army on 19th Street and, you know, plays and Christmas plays and all of that. My grandma, she was a decent woman. She worked with the ITT Technical Institution in downtown New Jersey. She used to take me with her a lot. I remember going downtown, catching the bus on Springfield Avenue early in the morning. The Springfield Avenue buses, they'll take you to downtown, and she went to ITT Tech. We used to go to McDonald's in the morning. Yep. And after that, we came back to Ohio. That was like 86, 87. When we came back to Ohio, my stepfather, Lloyd Kelly, he was just being released from prison. I don't know exactly how long he was doing, but they had released him, and he had a partner named Gabriel.
Gabriel?
Gabriel. Mm-hmm. I don't know his last name, but Gabriel, he was robbing banks. Mm-hmm. My stepfather was too, both of them.
Talking about big shout to Gabriel. I met him at Ross. Solid motherfucker, man.
Okay. So you do know Gabriel.
Yeah, I know Gabe. I know G.
He the one that beat up Huffman and tried to escape in the county back in them days type of shit. But yeah, he was my dad, but this was before all of that. My dad was robbing banks with him. So one day we was staying on Five Oaks in Richmond. Shout out to Dante Barnes. They had just made the papers for beating somebody up and taking a triple fat goose. That was back in them days. In his Patrick Ewing's. They made the papers. You can look that up. But we were staying right there in Five Oaks, and my dad had just came home. I was going to Eastmont. I'm sorry. I was going to Eastmont Elementary. And when we all came home, my stepfather, he had just got out of prison. He seen the way we was living, he wasn't happy. He looked at my mom, I remember the look. What, did you sit? We all happy that he home, whatever. And it wasn't too long before Pops got on his shit. I don't know exact details, but I remember in the middle of the night, we waking up and they telling us basically get up, and I'm like, what's up? They like, we gotta go.
About how old were you at this time?
Probably about 5, 6, 7. This was like 86.
And y'all back in Dayton staying on?
We back in Dayton. Same year, leaving from New Jersey. We moved in Five Oaks. It was some apartments. I can't remember the landlord, but he was a slum lord. But I remember shouts out to WAP and the Blood Gang. I remember them running that whole show in that year. I remember them. It was this geek named Zeke. He stayed there on Five Oaks, and he was, they beat the shit out of him. I sat right there and watched.
At what age?
This was I'm like 7. It's like 86, 87. Can't remember, but I remember it was around that time. Cause shouts out to Lil Bobby with no legs. His brother David. His brother David and Lil Bobby, they stayed right across the street. Lil Bobby with no legs, yeah, cause that's who my friends were at that time. And I remember them beating up Zeke and, going through all of that or whatever. So I remember them waking us up in the middle of the night and we had to leave. So when we was leaving, I heard my stepfather tell my mom, the police is after me, I didn't know what was going on, but come to find out he had robbed a bank with Gabriel. That's what they was on.
So he was released for prison robbing banks and came back home like, man, fuck that.
And started robbing banks. Yeah. Yep. And they was getting away with him. Cause then I started seeing how the money started shifting, At that time, my mama went to rehab up there on Gettysburg at the Veterans place. That was at the Veterans, yeah, right there on Gettysburg. Cause I remember my dad taking us up there to see my mom. She getting herself clean and shit, So once she get out, that's when the shit hit the fan. You know, the police, they, no, we moved on Conover, I'm sorry. Right there in Westwood. Pops took the money and got us a house. He took the money, got us a house, and where he fucked up at is he bought him a Cadillac, a two-tone Cadillac. Everybody know that Cadillac got his ass knocked. You know, he would have paid like $3,500 or some, $2,500 or some shit back in the.
It was the lack like off a casino.
It was the lack like off a casino. It was a two-tone lack, cause I remember before he got knocked, he took us to New Jersey in the same lack. We went to New Jersey. This was in the summer because it was July. We was on 10th Street in North New Jersey. My auntie Anna was staying there. She was staying there with a guy named fuck was that motherfucker name? He was a treacherous motherfucker too.
He was treacherous?
Treacherous, bro. This nigga didn't eat pork. He threw all my mama ribs out. Yeah, she went to the grocery store and she bought some groceries and shit, and it was like pork in it and shit, man. This nigga threw the shit out.
Wowzers.
Yeah, man. That nigga was a wild Omar, that was the nigga name. The nigga name was Omar, man. Yeah. Anyway.
Shout out to Omar.
Shout out to Omar from New Jersey. Everybody know the Omar nigga from Rawway. Now let's just keep it at that. Everybody know Omar from Rawway, and we talking 87, 88. You feel me? So we in New Jersey. Pop's done.
Let me ask you this real quick before you go on, because you mentioned Auntie Anna. Who all the Auntie Anna's family that you was kicking it with that was born at this point in time?
At this point in time, we talking D'Angelo Good, DeMario Good, and D'Angela Good, and DeMarcus Good. She had 4 kids. At this time, all of them was in New Jersey. You know, when we got up there, no. Everybody was in New Jersey but D'Angelo. D'Angelo, he always had a good family from his father's side, so that's where he spent a lot of his time at. At that time, it was only DeMarcus, DeMario, and D'Angelo. And specifically this year, it was July the 4th, and we was buying M80s. Yeah, I remember that. We was buying them 80s, and we went over to the field, and we set off a few M80s, and my little cousin D'Angela, she went over there to see what we was doing. And at that time, the wicks was so long that you can light them, and you can go across the street, and you can, duck, hide, and anticipate the boom. She went over there. By the time she go over there, we had put it in a 2-liter or a plastic jug or whatever. But the M80 went off, and man, blood all on her eyes. We thought her eyes was, it took her eyes out. So Omar come over there. This motherfucker, man, he had like a gap tooth, and he was talking shit and whatever. But we called the ambulance, and yeah, we all got in trouble behind that. But that was like in 86, 87. So man, that's crazy, because that's very night my auntie Anna was dealing with a guy that was from he was from 19th Street, and just like Omar, he was a cool cat. I cannot remember his name, but Omar came home and the nigga was there, and Omar had already told the nigga, like, hey man, I don't want you over here. Cause Auntie Anna used to live on 19th Street, and the nigga used to fuck with Auntie Anna on 19th Street, but when she moved on 10th Ave, he told the nigga, like, I don't want you coming over here. But the nigga came over there, man. I cannot remember that nigga name. And I was on the porch. I was talking to the nigga, and the nigga, Omar, walked up And he told the nigga, he like, man, let me holler at you. At that time, you had like 6 apartments in one. You see what I'm saying? But so when you go in, as soon as you go in, it's a bunch of mailboxes. When you go in, it's a bunch of mailboxes right there. That's what they was talking at. Damn, the nigga name kind of coming to me. But they was talking, and when they was talking, I was standing right there. And Sharif.
Reef.
The nigga name was Sharif. That was his name. The nigga name was Sharif. And he was fucking talking to Omar, and Omar pulled out a 25. I'll never forget it. He pulled out a 25, and he kind of put it to the nigga head, and he was telling him, like, man, didn't I tell you don't never come over here? And he started pistol whipping. And when he started pistol whipping him, I was standing on, like, it's like, 3 flights. The first, when you go up the first flight, it's like a long little step where you can look down and you can see who's coming in and who's coming out. That's where I was at, like sitting on the steps.
Inside like a pigeon.
Yeah. So I'm sitting there and I'm seeing the whole thing. And he talking to him, Sharif. Omar was one of them, when he talked, you damn near, you know what I mean? So it was like, damn. So next thing you know, he started pistol whipping him. So I have never seen that in my life. You feel me? Damn near never seen the pistol, let alone,
To that point in time.
To that point in time. Man, I shot upstairs. I'm so scared, I tell Auntie Anna, like, hey, Omar pistol whipping Sharif downstairs and he on his way upstairs. So I keep going through the house I come
tell
to the front, tell everybody and go straight out the back. So they like, he come upstairs short shit. My cousin Messi, rest in peace to my cousin. He got to talking that shit to, cause Messi was one of them real, he didn't give a fuck. He got to talking that shit, Omar got in his face, Auntie Anna, nah, you ain't about to, he talking shit to Auntie Anna, da 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 da. So I'm thinking this nigga about to come upstairs and kill everybody. But man, it was like nothing. You know what I'm saying? I done did all that for nothing. I come upstairs, everything cool. You know what I mean? Yeah. So come to find out, a day before, Omar and my dad, Lloyd Kelly, they was going around pulling jugs. In New York, in New Jersey, and New York, it's called jukes. Jukes. Back in the day, you pull up on them blocks. You can pull up on a block in New Jersey, and trust me, everybody running to your car with, it was called pedo at that time. It was heroin and cocaine, girl, boy. The girl was in the girl was in the magazines, and the boy was in the aluminum foil. Or you had the red tops, blue tops, yellow tops.
And this is New Jersey, and what year?
In New Jersey, just like 86, 87.
Okay.
It depends on what block you on, what color the top was, or how, the magazine or the fucking, aluminum foil. Anyway, they was pulling jukes, meaning they was pulling up, having motherfuckers, put the shit in their car, and Omar was taking that shit and they was pulling off. Well, mind you, we from Ohio. He the only nigga in New Jersey with Ohio tags. So in New Jersey, they got a different type of game. They got stolen car game. So my dad was sitting at the light one day. Probably like, I don't know, how long they done pulled the jukes, but we was only up there for 5 days. It was in the last 24 to 48 hours.
Right.
So we like 10th Ave in Springfield. We on 10th in Springfield. We going to Joe's Deli, which is on 17th Street. So we on 10th Ave waiting to turn right on Springfield to go to 18th Ave, which is Joe's Deli. You know what I'm saying? And a car comes, boom, boom, I'm talking about, it was a Honda Prelude. I'll never forget it. It was blue. It was a hunchback. That motherfucker hit the corner and smacked straight into my dad's shit. Boom!
The Cadillac?
The Cadillac. I'm talking about put a big, so my dad, he acting like he didn't know what was going on, but unbeknownst to us, you know, him and Omar was pulling jukes the day before, and they knew who the car was because they had Ohio plates.
For sure.
So a nigga named Hangman, that was his name.
Hold on, that's a good name. I might start going by that.
Listen, the nigga named Hangman, he was a car thief, a notorious car thief from New Jersey, and the police knew him. Everybody knew him. He did a donut and smacked straight into my dad's shit. Cadillac, boom, popped out, took off. So we left with the damage. We get back to 10th Ave. He acting like he don't know what's going on. My mama, what the fuck? You know, so I knew what happened, but I never said nothing to my mama, but she know now. That's why the car was fucked up. So anyway, after the bullshit that Omar pulled with the Sharif nigga, fucking, we came back to Ohio. But on the trip of coming back to Ohio, it was a gimmick to it. DeMarcus and DeMario came with us. They was coming back to Ohio with us. So now here you go. You got fucking a two-door Cadillac with 12 people in it. Yeah, man. I remember like it was yesterday. You got me. You got my sister Tanika. You got my sister Shaquana. You got Rail. You got Kyrie. You got Peabody. You got my dad, Lloyd Kelly. You got Big Mama, which is Lisa Kelly. You got Peabody.
You said him already.
I said Peabody already?
For sure.
Okay, so that's 8 motherfuckers already. And you got my Uncle Jerry. So not 12, 9.
That's still y'all in that motherfucking beat.
In a two-door lack on our way to Ohio. So let me tell you this, right? We on our way, I forgot the highway. For New Jersey, but we on the fucking highway and our fucking tire go out. Swear to God. On the highway. In the middle, we like in Trenton. I remember we was in like Trenton, New Jersey. And the fucking tire blow out. Once the tire blow out, we move to the side, and because we got so much shit in the trunk, my dad had to take all the shit out of the trunk and get the fucking spare. When he doing that, the police pull up. Now mind you, this motherfucker just got out of jail for bank robbery. Right? And he on parole. This nigga ain't even supposed to be out of the state. When the police pull up and they run his name and they see who he is, the first thing they said was, man, what the fuck is you doing? So I remember clearly because he had me get out the car with him. We on the side of the highway. We ain't on the right side of the shoulder. We on the left side of the shoulder. Get what I'm saying? The police, I remember them putting the flares down because, so they like, what the fuck, where's y'all coming from? So we tell them we coming from a funeral. My dad was always, that boy, he was always quick on his feet. He like, we coming from a funeral. So somehow the cop believed me. And the first thing I remember him saying, he said, I tell you what, I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna put these flares down. That's when he started putting the flares down. He said, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna let you change your tire, and I'm gonna let you go ahead and go about your way. I don't want nothing to do. This is a lot of fucking paperwork. You get what I'm saying? This motherfucker from Ohio, he on parole. If we take his ass to jail, we gotta deal with 8 motherfuckers. You get what I'm saying? And tow the car, and this is too much paperwork.
I ain't into that right now.
I know y'all getting pulled over.
Somewhere else.
So go ahead, man. We put the tire on, man. We off. Boom.
Hey, y'all.
We in Pennsylvania. We make it through the tow. When we went through the toll, the motherfucker at the toll, he said, man, I ain't never seen no shit like this.
No shit like what?
In order to get from New Jersey to Pennsylvania, you gotta go through a toll. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The toll, you have to literally stop and pay the toll.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? They looking in the car back then. They see 9 motherfuckers. I'm talking about we lapped up and you get what I'm saying? They like, you hear what I'm saying? So somehow we made it through that.
Yeah.
We get to the fucking rest stop. We get to the fucking rest stop. We go in there. Now mind you, we from Ohio. We from Ohio and we get in there, motherfucker, bro. We start stealing everything, bro. They got candy out, they got this out, they got that out. We already know the program. You get what I'm saying? So we get caught. Yeah, we get caught. The motherfucker that catch us see the same shit. They like, this too big of a problem. Cause you got me stealing, you got my cousin Messi stealing, you got Peabody, he's drunk. Yeah, and my Uncle Jerry, to this day, he's a notorious thief. He the one that they really caught, but anyway, so they let us go. They let us keep all that shit and they just let us go in Pennsylvania.
You said keep it?
Keep it. Get the fuck out of here, is what I'm trying to tell you. You hear me? We make it to Ohio, we good. When we make it back to Ohio, somehow my dad used his money to get us a new spot. When we end up on Conover, where we end up meeting Dion Shoecraft and Raymond Shoecraft, Keisha, Kathy, and all of them. We actually stayed next door to them. And that's who really turned us out on some real shit.
What you mean?
Like, that year, mind you, we put a year, we spent that year in New Jersey, and now we over in Ohio. This the next year after we come to Ohio. It's June or July. I never forget it because that's the day I caught my first case. I was like 9 years old. This was like 91, 92.
Okay, time out. You said you caught your first case at how old?
Like 9, 10. 10.
Man, hold on, boss.
9. 91.
What the fuck?
I was born in 82.
I got you, but you said you caught your first case when?
In 90 fucking 1.
And you was how old?
9.
Damn. What was your first case about, man?
Beating up the police. Shouts out to Demetrius and his brother Monte. We was on Conover, and it was a couple days before.
Where Conover at?
Right there off of Mooma.
Off by
Off of Main. Off of Main Street.
Oh, down there. Okay.
We stayed at 1505 Conover. We popping M80s and firecrackers.
Now back to these M80s.
We popping that. We in Ohio though. The people, we around all white people. They call the police on us. Police pull up. They like, y'all can't pop fireworks until like the 3rd or 4th. So we like, man, fuck what y'all talking about. We kept popping it. So it was a little white lady, I never forget it. She like, she tried to grab Demetrius. She tried to grab Demetrius. Shouts out to Demetrius and DeMonte. Demetrius pulled away from her and he started beating her up. Well, we jumped on her and we started beating her up too. Me, Dion Shoecraft, Raymond Shoecraft, DeMarcus Good. We started beating the police lady, Shaquana Good. Yeah, we jumped on her and they hit a signal 99. And
What's the signal 99?
all police hands available, get here.
Get here now.
About 100 of them pulled up.
And how quick?
And then about 30 seconds. My mama, we all barricaded ourselves in the house. My mama, she in the house. Yeah, it turned into a hostage situation because they didn't know what was going on. This was like in 91. And they kicked the door in and they come in there and they get my mama and they get Kathy